Welcome to Quality Silent Films. Whether you are a newbie or an old friend here, you are certainly welcome. We're thrilled to take you back to the enchanting world of early cinema, a time when the sound of the projector and the flickering black and white images wove tales that still resonate today. Let's step into 1923, a year when Calvin Coolidge took office, the first non-stop transcontinental flight soared across the U.S. The famous Hollywood sign was erected, though it originally spelled Hollywoodland, in promotion of a real estate development. Walt and Roy Disney opened the Disney Brothers studio, which sparked the hugely successful entertainment empire to come, and Time magazine published its very first issue ever. It was an era of rapid change. The Jazz Age was blossomed and flourished, cities were lighting up as American homes were connected to electricity, and cinema was just beginning to flex its creative muscles. Today's feature is Horseshoes, a delightful silent comedy treasure from 1923, directed by the talented James D. Davis and the endlessly imaginative Larry Semon. Semon not only directs but also stars in the film, showcasing his knack for chaos, visual gags, and daring stunts. Joining him is Kathleen Myers, celebrated for her sharp-witted heroines who could easily keep up in a slapstick frenzy. And keep an eye out for Oliver Hardy, yes, the very same Oliver Hardy who would later team up with Stan Laurel to become one of comedy's most recognized and beloved duos. Here, he's still finding his way, easily recognizable by that cheeky grin and surprisingly quick timing. Rounding out the cast is Jack Duffy, a unique character actor often hidden under layers of old man makeup, making him a familiar face in early farce. Horseshoes isn't just a collection of laughs. It's a story about misfortune, big aspirations, and the journey of an underdog trying to navigate a world that doesn't play by the rules. There's romance, rivalry, confrontation, chaos, and at its core, a frantic quest for self-worth in a slapstick universe that rarely takes a breather. So, let's watch the screen come alive with Horseshoes, a whirlwind of silent-era chaos. And remember to stick around after the film. We'll dive deeper into the cast, explore the behind-the-scenes magic, and reflect on the cultural moment that shaped this film's wild and zany adventure. What a wild ride on the Comedy Express, right? Horseshoes barrels through its scenes with the kind of reckless charm that only a film confident in its chaos can muster, a reminder that the best comedies aren't always neat, tidy, or polite. They're messy, physical, and on the edge. They're deeply human, and somehow always a step ahead of logic. It leaves us amazed, startled, breathless, maybe a bit puzzled, but grinning broadly all the same. Larry Semon, who co-directed and starred in this treasure, was one of the most prolific masters of silent comedy. He was famous for his elaborate sets, explosive stunts, and a nearly reckless approach to filmmaking. His career took off like a rocket in the early 1920s, often rivaling Chaplin in popularity. But his extravagant style eventually led to personal and financial troubles by the end of the decade. Horseshoes captures him at the peak of his powers. All speed, no brakes, with a sense that the screen might just burst open from sheer enthusiasm. Kathleen Myers, Semon's frequent co-star, added a spark to his chaotic world. She wasn't merely a damsel in distress, she had a knack for comedy and a grounded presence that gave even the wildest situations a thread of emotional coherence. Unfortunately, like many actresses of her time, her career wound down as talkies took over, but Horseshoes remains one of her standout performances. Oliver Hardy makes a strong appearance here just before his iconic partnership with Stan Laurel took off. His work with Semon helped him refine the familiar expressions and timing that would later define his success. You can catch a glimpse of the popular success to come in his performance, not just the bravado, but also the subtle pauses and simmering frustrations. Jack Duffy, though not as well known today, had a long career playing older characters, often decades beyond his actual age. His makeup kit was his secret weapon, transforming him into everything from stern fathers to grizzled janitors, always serving as the perfect comic counterbalance to Semon's manic energy. Behind the scenes, Horseshoes was brought to life at Vitagraph Studios, one of the early giants of American cinema. Semon was famous for crafting enormous props, think collapsing buildings and full-sized vehicles, and while we don't have exact figures on the film's budget, the surviving photos reveal intricate set designs and chase scenes that could easily stand alongside the best work of Keaton or Lloyd. The film was released into a crowded market for slapstick comedy, and while it may not have become a classic, it certainly enthralled audiences hungry for quick laughs and high-energy antics. Nowadays, critics are rediscovering Semon's films not just for their unique humor but also for the glimpse they provide into a time when filmmakers were figuring out just how far they could stretch the boundaries of their craft. Unfortunately, much of Semon's work has been lost or remains cut up into pieces, but Horseshoes has survived in fairly good shape, often featured at silent film festivals and restored for archival releases. It offers a peek into a fleeting yet brilliant era where ambition and chaos dance together. Here's a fun bit of trivia. Hardy was reportedly hurt during a stunt, a falling beam just barely missed him, but he insisted on completing the shot. And according to a 1923 column in Moving Picture World, one scene had to be redone after an overly enthusiastic extra accidentally knocked over part of the set, which Semon found so hilarious that he decided to keep it in as a gag. Ultimately, Horseshoes is a story about resilience, whether it's an endearing and bumbling hero dodging calamity or a filmmaker pursuing the next big laugh despite financial setbacks. That spirit of unwavering hope, comedic struggle, and relentless movement still strikes a chord today. Thanks for joining us here at Quality Silent Films. We hope you enjoyed the ride and maybe even spotted the roots of comedy that still echo in today's films. If you laughed, cringed, or just marveled at how far actors would go for a gag, don't keep it to yourself. Like, comment, and subscribe for more forgotten classics brought back to life with context, history, and a little love. Until next time, may all your horseshoes hit the ringer unless you're in a Larry Semon film, in which case, duck, weave, pivot, lead with your left, and keep your wits about you at all times.